Good morning. I know I'm late. I also have a splitting migraine, so this is my life. Oh, you have a question? Go ahead, ask your question. Oh, I hope I get better too. I have taken medicine, and I wouldn't be starting if it wasn't starting to work, which is the reason also why I was late, because I was waiting to see if anything would improve. I also tried to sleep again, but it didn't work. It's just rolling around like I've slept enough. I just got a headache. Got enough PFP? Your thoughts? I assume on YouTube. Usually can't see a PFP on Twitch. And I could try and see if I could see it on Twitch, but I have to like access that. Oh yeah, okay. And hit me up. I'll be able to see it because it actually shows up in my chat on YouTube. It doesn't show up in Dubba dubba da. Boop! Whee! That's not a good sign. What have I got? Oh, Berserkium. That's not good. Necessarily. Fuck. Lots of poison, not any water. Can we just not for a hot second? I need water. Oh my fucking... Bro! Any chance you could just give me a break? No? No? You're just gonna be a jerk about it? God damn it! Fucking... Rain drop. No? We're just... fucked. I see. Where'd you find water? Don't you chew on me! Don't you chew on me. Oh my god, fuck off! You all suck. Yeah, but I can only really see it on YouTube, for whatever reason. Looks cool. Looks cool. Yeah, seriously. Oh my god, my head hurts so much. What's that? Do 2 oranges on Twitch. Power I hold. I don't know what that means. Good for you. $2.2K oranges or tangerines. Yeah, I'm still confused, but that's okay.
I got this new anime plot. Basically, there's this high school girl, except she's got huge boobs. I mean, some serious hunkers. A real setup of donkers. Packing some Doban hunkeros. Massive da hunka bankaloos. Big old Tanhangera cougars.
Oh, you don't know what that is. That's. Oh, you don't know what those. Okay, let me show you. Okay. It might not pop up for you depending on, like, I know you're in South Africa. Give me a second. Those are dem bits. So the joke was because you could make those. Back before I had access to bits, I had access to my channel points. So I was like, I'm gonna create this thing for bits. So this is they're these. They're Timbits, which are Canadian. Americans call them donut holes sometimes, but like they're itty bitty baby donuts. They're called Timbits, at least in Canada, because we have a coffee chain called Tim Hortons. So anyways, yeah, they're donuts. All of our bit redeems. Like if you ever spend bits, you get like a bit thing. I don't think I can actually show them off in chat, but if Raikuyo shows up, ask him to show you the bit the dem bits the timbits. There's a bunch of them if you've done any bit redeems. Which obviously, yes, you don't have to do because they do actually cost real money, blah, 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 blah. They didn't used to. Back in the day, they didn't used to. You used to be able to, like, farm them by watching ads. How much? I think the cheapest one is $1. Don't quote me on that. It might be $10. So see how good I am at streaming? Bits reading. Custom bit badges. They're called. Aww. We're glad we can help people sleep. Oh, never mind. The cheapest one is a 1-bit badge, and we did make it for all of them because like they which sets the values. So there's one for a 1-bit badge and 100, a 1K, 5K, 10K, 25K, 50K, so on and so forth. $17 down here? Yeah, I know. The exchange rate is fucking bullshit. And, like, Twitch is not kind about exchange rates either. Like, they don't make things proportional. Which is such bullshit because, like, honestly, what the fuck harm does it do? Oh, someone might, like, transfer currency around a whole bunch so they can donate bits to streamers. Like, cry me a river. You're literally owned by Amazon. Do you really need the money? Fuck you, Twitch. The fuckers don't even, like, pay me. But, you know. Twitch gotta make that bag somehow. Fucking ass hattery. That's what that is. Yeah, I forgot OBS flickers during this game. I'm going to put it at the bottom of my screen. If something is visually wrong with my stream, please tell me, because I will not be able to see it. Something is visibly wrong with your stream. I can see it. Period. Like, that's the problem. Hydrate. That's a good idea.
Hydrate, you bastard! Hydrate!
The first time I've seen one of these, didn't have a prize at the top. Fuck you, game. You leave now, bye? Okay, you have a good one. I hope you had a happy holiday if you celebrate. And I hope you have a happy new year. And all that good shit. Hydrate. Right, hydrate. That. Twitch would put a stop to that. You can't even donate bits to yourself, but, like, obviously you could use a account or some shit like that, and I can imagine Twitch not taking too kindly to streamers actually making money. At least not without them making their bag, too. Fuck you little shits. Wish there was a way to easily transmute. Oh, that's a lot of blood. You're getting the vampire perk. Oh, that's not good. Hmm. That works. A little silly, but it works. That's what I thought it was. Like, that's probably an acid ball wand. Because I could see the toxic smoke. Or not the toxic smoke, the flammable gas coming off it. I find it hard to tell me because you find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very... Ow, you fucker. Mad world. Fuck yo! You know, I would let you live if you just leave me alone. I just want to get the one down here. You could be nice. I mean, I know he can't be nice. He's programmed not to be nice, but maybe one day he could learn to be nice. Probably not via me complaining to him, though. Like, that's not gonna happen. He's like, can't you tell that I'm, like, a murderer guy who... Ooh, another chest. There's not a lot of ways down, like, especially when you're, like, denied a bomb. You can be like, would you like to do this without having access to any bombs? I'm sure it won't be annoying at all. And I'd like to get a little more gold, but I really shouldn't push my luck. might actually have to leave this one as is. Oh, apologies. Yes, Noita is the name of the game. When I get monetized on YouTube, you'll give me a pound? Aw, that's very nice. Hey, Ruby Tummy Snowball. How you doing? Yep, I have explored outside the cave in the top worlds. I have gotten to a couple of floating islands where I met a little thingy called a Kiva, and it made me scared because it like showed up at the bottom of my screen with a hit point bar. So I immediately killed it, and then it immediately killed me back, and then I looked it up, and it was like, hey, yo, this thing is completely passive, and it wouldn't have hurted you at all, but because it had, like, boss music and stuff, you reacted badly to it. Get shit on. I've gone over the tree once. That was a mistake, because everything over there is really scary. I can hear something. It's really strange. Apologies for being so, like, out of it and crappy. I am. Yep, that is. I don't know what that is. No, not even fireworks. No, no, it sounds like an animal in distress, maybe? Or maybe like. I want to be like, it's a mating call. That's super sexual. But no, it's like. It sounds like. Well, this is what it sounds like. It sounds like. Kind of like a crow, but repeating way too many times for it to be a crow. A human wouldn't make this noise, not for this length of time. Like, it's like. But it's not mechanical, it sounds like an animal. I am the animal in distress. I actually thought it was part of the game. And then I was like, well, maybe it's my fan. And now I'm like, what animals are there around here that would make that sound? Like, obviously there's raccoons, there's turkey, like wild turkey, there's skunks, but I don't smell a skunk. Usually when the skunks are active, you can fucking smell the fucking skunk. It's too low pitched to be a squirrel or anything of that size. Like, it's gotta be a bigger animal than that, cause like it wouldn't make that noise at that pitch. But like most animals aren't like in rut or like doing heat stuff in the middle of fucking December. Like, but it doesn't sound like it's in a lot of distress. Like if you hear a raccoon like fucking get its shit wrecked, like I'm thinking it could be a raccoon. Or bird. But like there's not a lot of birds that are active at night around here. A raccoon? Yeah, it could be. It could be. You know what? Considering it is winter time, I just it ain't whistling, but it might as well be. Sorry, not playing right now. I'm trying to make my headphones be nicer to me. weird. It's almost like I could imagine a crow making that sound if a crow was like trapped inside of something. Which, considering we had a massive freaking ice storm, maybe there is a crow trapped inside of something. Okay, so this is a really bad wand on every conceivable level, isn't it? Yeah, that's 6 time. And it's also got a massive cast delay and recharge time. Let's see if I understand this. Was it a shuffle wand? Oh, it's a shuffle wand, so it doesn't work. Alright. Let's go see what we get. More blood, greed. Yeah, good luck with the critter. Good luck with the critter. I'm not saying its name out loud. I might fucking hear me, man. Oh yeah, 0 degrees t-shirt weather. It is. It's fogging right now. From like, I mean, like freezing rain does that. Like happens when like the ground is slightly colder than the rain that's falling on it. So it just becomes accretions. Like it just everything gets covered in a layer of ice. Like I can imagine like a raccoon or a crow going into like somebody's trash bin or something, and the trash bin closing on top of them. Not a problem normally, except when after you're done eating all the garbage, you realize you can't get out, cause, well, as it turns out, like, I should try Dead Cells. I own Dead Cells, played Dead Cells. It hurts my hands too much to play it. You need to have really good reaction time and hands that don't ache. Well, I mean, like, I don't know. You don't have to. You could just okay. Let's put it this way. You don't have to tell me where you live or anything like that. But where I live is a swamp. Like most of southern Ontario is kind of a swamp. Like there's some old like shale cliffs and whatnot. But like other than that, like the Niagara Ridge or whatever it's called, it's all fucking swamp. So everything here just kind of goes from covered in like 4 feet of snow to foggy, fog, and muck. Fog and muck all spring long. So it's kind of like nasty. So if it's fogging right now, so it's hovering around the freezing point. Now I'm gonna say it's probably just a raccoon stuck in a bin or something. Get out of my swamp, said the Anishinaabe to all the damn white people. I probably said that wrong, and my apologies. I've only ever read the word. Something we got to learn about people who own the land when I was in school, anyway. Oh, yay. ASMR. I'm crunching cans because there's too many cans. Scroll down, saw an edgy VTuber, also Japanese. Isn't it too early to be edgy in Japan? I mean, generally speaking, if they're from one of the studios, though I think Niji Sanji's actually shut down, because, I mean, shit, VTubing was kind of mostly just a fad anyway. For people who are, like, you know, doing it because they need the cash, I guess. You know how oh, okay, so, like, in Japan, there's a term called the black company. It has nothing to do with black folks. It has everything to do with companies that have unethical practices. That's just the term they use. But anyways, I had a feeling that Hololive was a black company, but I wasn't quite sure until I saw how they treated the Gen 2 English VTuber who she badly hurt her neck. Like, badly hurt her neck. And they were putting a lot of pressure on her to basically, like, get better immediately because, you know, we kind of need you to do stuff. But I also kind of got a whiff of it from, like, some of their VTubers are older people, because at the time it wasn't really that big a deal that some of these, like, actors were older people, like, in real life. Because who cares, right? Except then they started doing this thing where they were, like, getting them to, like, actually dance and, like, be active and do filming with, like, 3D rigs and stuff. And, like, because some of these ladies, and I'm gonna say ladies because they ladies were older people, like old, like older people. Nice. Some of these ladies were older people, and Marine being one of them, and she also had injuries. Like, when you're old, your body don't work so good. But they were making her do all this physical stuff, and, like, she would literally be in her stream talking about how much pain she was in, and, you know, everyone joking around and calling her old, and her insisting that she was 17. Because that was, like, the running joke at the time. But, she was just always hurting. Like, she had injured her back, she had to go to the doctor, she went to the doctor told her she needed to take a break, but she couldn't take a break because she had to learn all this dance routines and all this other shit, and I'm like, this is insane. Like, this has actually hit a point where I actually kind of think that this is, like, a really, really bad company. And then it sort of, like, came out that, yeah, no, it is as bad as it seems. A lot of their girls were, like, in real life are older. And they were basically, like, demanding the sun, moon, and stars from them. Right? she was wielding that gigantic booty. You know, there was like some sort of like long-standing joke about Marine not being like about Marine being older, but like some of the other ladies were older too. Like what's her name? I don't remember her name. She's a pretty pink princess, okay? She's a pretty pink princess. She acts like she's 5. There's no way that lady is not over 50 years old. And the reason why I know that she's that old has to do with how some of the other girls talk about her. Like they've done real life collabs with her. And oh, what's her name? The duck girl. I love her. She's so fun. She would talk to the princess girl, and the way she would talk about her, she would talk about her like she was her aunt, like Oba-chan, like an older woman, like respectfully, not respectfully towards a princess who's a princess and a royal princess, but respectfully towards an older woman. And the way that she described said princess. Oh fuck, I can't remember their names. Subaru is the duck girl. The princess is fucking escaping me. But she's an older woman. She just is. I know she is. Partly because whenever she breaks character, which does not happen very often, when it does, she talks also like she's older too. Anyways, like, they tried to make her do dancing too, and I mean, you know, they made excuses like she's 5 and she doesn't know what she's doing, sort of thing. But literally, you could never make her do a dance. Like, as far as I can tell, I don't think that she can like walk well necessarily. Like, she's not like, these aren't like young people. And it's fucking wrong. To hire somebody to do one job and then turn around and be like, yeah, well, now your job is full-blown entertainment unit, and, sure, that wasn't part of your original contract, but we're doing that now, so, get over it. Like, that's not okay. That's not appropriate. That's not how that should be going down. Don't you chomp at me. I'm trying to save you from a fate worse than death. Oh yeah, I forgot. I'm immune to fire. Oh, stop it. Ow! Have you ever seen, like, most people, it's really funny, most people know Subaru, not because of anything that she's done, and by most people, I mean people who, like, don't know a damn thing about VTubers, but do know something about internet culture. Have you ever seen a gif of a duck? Whoop, fuck off, fuck you. A gif of a duck that's, like, dancing, Like a dancing duck sort of thing. And the duck is like kind of like spinning around very slowly and dancing, and it's wearing a little baseball cap. That is Subaru. Like that's most people have seen that duck and have no idea what the context is. Context is that's actually Subaru. I'm gonna look her up because now that I'm talking about her. But anyways, okay, it is. Okay, so her name is Luna. Her model got updated. She looks very weird now. There's no way that the woman who plays Luna is not in her 40s or 50s. Like, and they hired on older ladies to play these characters because I mean, they're either retired or they're, I think in the case of Luna, probably an empty nester sort of thing. Like, just it gives people who it's such a good idea to have an agency like that. Like here's the thing that they just completely missed. You could have an agency for like older folks to be VTubers, play characters, do all this stuff, and they could be older people. But because they started into this whole idol thing, and instead of doing what would be sensible, this is what I would do. You hire your talent to be like from all walks of life. Some of them are disabled, some of them can't work anymore, some of them are retired. You have them do that work because they've got the time to do it, and you don't have to worry about them going to school or getting another job or anything like that. They're your talent, and they're there to just play video games and chat with people. Awesome, super cool idea, fucking solid fucking idea, because you're literally employing people who, especially in Japan, are considered to be somewhat unemployable, and they don't have to do anything other than play video games. Genius idea. This is a firm fucking idea, because they got it into their head that they should be an actual idol agency. And instead of doing what would be sensible, which would be hiring people to do the dancing, they tried to force these older women who they hired in the first couple of rounds of hiring to become the actual physical dancers for these characters. And it's like, hear me out. Hire actual dancers to do the dances, and then have the VTubers just sing over top of it. It takes no additional, like, it takes a little bit of additional money, I suppose, to like hire in the dancers, but it's better than, like, having your VTubers be exhausted and unable to play video games because they're in so much pain, and have them, like, constantly talking about how badly they're being treated. Like, they of course, like, they're demure about it. They're like, you know, what, I had to do all this dance routines, and, you know, my back has been hurting lately, and it's like, honey, obviously the two are connected. Yeah, exactly. They just let them be voice actors. It would be so fucking sensible to just let these people who you hired as voice actors to be voice actors. Like, you hired them for a job. Now, I can understand, now they're, like, making sure that the people who they hire are definitely physically fit, but the problem is with, like, folks like What's Her Tits. Oh my god, I can't remember her name. The Gen 2 girl who had to retire mostly because she was too disabled to actually do what she was hired to do. Like, she fell, or she twisted herself, or something happened and she injured her neck, and she literally had to stream, like, laying on her back the entire time. The girl who was like the galaxy or whatever, or the solar system. But she had to retire because she was always under so much pressure to, like, get physically better so that she could, you know, perform physically. And it's like, fuck off. Anyways, yeah, I at one point in time, I was pretty keen on being like, yeah, if I just do this enough, then maybe, like, I'll get hired by Hololive and all this other shit. But when it dawned on me, and this was before they were really deeply enforcing everybody's got to do their own physical stuff. I was like, this is really cool. And, you know, if they clearly they're gonna have to use body doubles for some of the older women, but no, no, they don't do that, and which is just madness in my opinion. Can I dance? At one point in time I could. Before I got injured. I just realized, like, it injured could be the correct term for what fucking happened. So, long story short, sometimes people are, like, allergic to a medication, right? But, like, they'll have, like, anaphylaxis. Which sucks, right? Like, you can't breathe and all that shit. You gotta, like, take an EpiPen and all that, right? Makes sense. It sucks. But, like, imagine that there's the potential that there are medications that you can have adverse reaction to that, like, literally fuck you up permanently. Like, they like fuck you up. So when I was a little kid, like 8 or 9, as a note, reminder, I'm old, and because of injury cases like mine, they stopped giving this medication to children. They still give it to adults, but they stopped giving it to children because of these injuries. So, at one point in time, when I was like 8, I had a really bad infection, and one type of the normal type that they give you, like, the penicillin one, the amoxicillin. It wasn't getting rid of whatever was wrong. So they gave me this brand new, newly approved, very, very strong antibiotic. I took it, and I was just in so much pain. Discontinued it. The pain never really went away. I recovered somewhat, but not entirely. And the thing is, because I've endured abuse as a child, blah, 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 I never learned the name of that antibiotic. So fast forward 20 years, I'm an adult. I had so COVID is a specific type of thing, and SARS is a specific type of thing. They're like in the same category of really shitty cough disease. Before either of those two came out, there was actually a very brief, not pandemic, but epidemic in my area of a sibling to SARS. Called it starts with an M. Nix knows more about what the name of it was. I was the one who dealt with it though, so I have the distinct memories of being in a lot of pain from it. So, just endless coughing, endless coughing. You can't sleep because you're coughing. You're coughing so hard that you want to die. Type coughing, like it was unpleasant. And you know, moxicillin wasn't doing the thing. They gave me a new antibiotic, and I was like, oh yeah, I remember this happened. And I was in a lot of pain. And they were like, oh, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, I'm allergic to an antibiotic that isn't amoxicillin. Like, the amoxicillin is fine, but there's another one that I am allergic to, and I don't know what it's called. And they're like, well, it wouldn't be this one because they don't give this to children. Yeah. Anymore. So I took it, and that absolutely nuked my ability to do most physical activities at that point. So, fast forward a couple of years, and remember that having DID means that I have amnesia. Right? So, I was dormant at the time. Honey was the one who was actually active at the time. We ended up with walking pneumonia. Now, Honey is aware, sort of the name of the thing. She knows that it starts with a Q or an F. And so she goes to the hospital, and they were like, well, it says here that you took some amoxicillin, it wasn't working, so we're going to give you a different antibiotic. And Honey was very assertive and said, there is another one that I'm allergic to, and I need to ask you, is it this one? And the doctor kind of looked at her like, oh, maybe that is that one. So she rewrote the script. So Honey trusted her, took the script to the pharmacist, and instead of asking the pharmacist, are you sure it's not this medication? She took the entire course. The thing is with me and with, I assume, Nix, because Nix would have been the one who was around during the time when I stopped taking it almost immediately. Nix at the time also had basically stopped taking it almost immediately. Honey took it for the entire course. And it stopped us from ever being able to really walk again. Which is an injury. And what really sucks is, now that we know how to say fluoroquinones or phenofluorones or whatever, I always look it up and hold up the picture and say, these are all the common names for it. Please don't give me any of these. But she took the entire course. And she just assumed that the amount of pain that she was in when she was taking it was just the pneumonia, like, just sapping her sort of thing. She didn't, because we didn't have any communication back then, because Kat was out of the picture at the time because of bullshit that had happened in our system. Honey didn't get any warning from anyone else internally, other than she knew roughly what the name of it was. And the doctor assumed that the only, there's no way that I could have taken this as a kid. Because doctors are told they're not supposed to give it to children. They always forget that there's a reason why they don't give it to children. It's because some kids took it. Anyways. You know what's really sucky? You know how we figured out what fucking medication it was that we were allergic to? We looked up antibiotic that tastes like bubblegum because it tasted like bubblegum. There's only one antibiotic that in the 80s had a bubblegum flavor, and it's specifically that one. Wait. Oh, it's one of the... It was a rain barrel. Like, we didn't even realize how much our system relied on Cat until Cat, like... Not every DID system functions exactly the same, and ours seems to be fairly unique in the fact that we've had many hosts, and those hosts had like a singular admin who like basically trained us all to be the person. Like, literally, I remember walking to college, because, like, I formed as a result of trauma, but most of us did. But, like, the first memories I have, specifically, I was going to college, right? And I literally had Kat talking in my ear, saying, your name is this, your birthday is this, your first teacher's name was this, your second grade teacher's name was this, your parents are named this, your siblings are named this, and like, he would just sit there and endlessly talk about who I was and informed me continuously of all these things that are true, which is why I knew the name, but Honey didn't. Like, Honey had an inkling, but didn't remember the name of it properly. Fluoroquinone. What happened when Honey was formed, see, most of the time the host would get traumatized, right? So, you know, in one of my cases, I had a bad boyfriend, and made me super sad, and I was really stressed out and sad, and then my brain was like, yeah, no, well, you know what? Whenever anyone gets super stressed out or sad, we just make them go to bed on a semi-permanent basis, and we'll just make a new one. There you go, fixed. That was kind of how my brain dealt with every stressor, which is fine when you have this admin, because like most people, like in terms of like common terms for types of headmates, most headmates are what's the word? One of the common terms is gatekeeper. So there's somebody who's kind of like, they have access to traumatic memories, they might help people switch, etc., etc. But we don't like that term because, honestly, gatekeeper sounds, I don't know, weird. Cat doesn't like the term, so he uses the word admin. So he was our admin, but he himself had never really firsthand experienced trauma. But then we had this incident where we needed to get, we had a physical emergency, and we were in the emergency room, and we needed to get checked out right away. And generally speaking, Cat doesn't front, at least not very often. That's not something he does. But he was actually briefly front stuck. And he basically asked the doctors, you know, could I just have a second to like get my head in the right space for this, which was basically like, I need to switch the fuck out. But the doctor didn't listen because, you know, it was vaguely emergency tangential. I can understand that. I don't like that that's supposedly reasonable. Like, could have given him a fucking second to like chill, you know. But because they didn't wait, he got traumatized. And imagine our system is basically set up as one guy who knows what's going on, and a newbie who gets informed by the fun guy who knows what's going on to get this person to behave like everybody else in the system, right? If this guy goes away because the brain's like, oh, well, trauma happened, so we need to make this guy go away, what happens to the new person who forms? They don't know what's going on. So yeah, it was during that time that Honey ended up taking this medication, and because she doesn't have any medical experience or mistrust of doctors or anything like that, she didn't look too hard into it. Which is a goddamn shame. Yep. If there is an extended period of stress, and by extended periods of stress I mean like days and days and days of like being freaked the fuck out. Basically, we will dissociate, brain will make up some new folks, and that's just that. You go to bed. It took us a long time to actually stop doing that and figure out how to, like, nip that in the bud, but that was... We still ended up with a new person before we figured out what the trigger for that is. How we ended up with Grayson in our system, because, one of Nyx's, there were some shenanigans. Anyways, Nyx ended up, being super stressed out, and that resulted in our brain being like, oh, we'll just add this new person. Awesome. The thing is, we don't actually choose the whole going to sleep. We are also very fortunate that Kat had kind of managed to wake the fuck up. Like, basically what happened was, because Kat wasn't handling switches anymore, and you're like, what do you mean? Okay, so basically what would happen is, so we've got like a deck of cards. Like, it's like, okay, imagine Yu-Gi-Oh, right? So like, Kat is like Yugi, and he's got a bunch of cards. Each of those cards has its own abilities, its own memories, and, you know, serves a function within the system. So what would happen is, let's say, usually the divide was between school, church, and home life. So we would have somebody who was handling school, someone who handled like life at home, and someone who would be handling stuff at church. So like Beth, for example, was somebody who handled stuff at church for the most part. Beth formed when we were around, what, 7 or 8, and like Nyx Nyx is a fusion, but I'm just saying Nyx for convenience sake. Nyx was someone who handled stuff at home, and I was somebody who handled stuff at school. Between all of us. Those are the easiest ones to point out. So basically what would happen is, okay, so person who's dealing with stuff at home, you'd get out of the bus, you'd get out of the car, however we got to school, and then we would, Kat would just switch us. Like, he basically handled pulling one person back out and popping one person back in. But the thing is, when you have a dissociation disorder and you don't actually have an alter who's, like, handling those things, like, consciously handling them, you kind of just pop in and out at random whenever there's vague stressors or whatnot. The cat, traumatized, no longer handling all those switches, we were experiencing what a lot of people with DID experience, which is just massive time loss and, waking up, you're in the wrong place, and everything seems to have gone wrong, and I don't know how everything is, like, gotten all screwed up, but, like, it's terrifying, and... So, Honey was experiencing all of these symptoms where, there was no reason to be experiencing them. Like, she would be doing the dishes, and then all of a sudden she'd get, like, super dizzy and be slurring her words, and, she's taking care of an infant, our little cousin at the time was a baby. I'm stuck. No, it's still up there. Oh, there's two of them. No one is. So a lot of systems, they have what's called a host, and then they've got other alters, and those other alters, they might handle individual circumstances, but in our case, our first split happened so early on, between what you might consider to be, like, the host and cat. The cat was always present as we grew up. Like, Cat was always there to pause switches to keep us safe. So, like, our next split happened between, I guess it doesn't matter if I say the alters names at this point. We had, kind of like a host, but it was BT. And then we had Esme and, I don't know, two of them combined became, but basically Gaines. And, between all of them, one was specifically there to deal with trauma of neglect, one was there to deal with specific trauma that was related to, other children hurting us, sort of thing. And one was specifically to deal with the trauma of dealing with our mom. So between all of those things, there was sort of like 3 hosts, and all of them were traumatized. Which was, that's not generally how it works. Like, usually you just have, like, a trauma holder, like somebody who deals with really traumatic situations. Then you have your host, who is the person who's completely unaware of bad things happening. Because bad things kind of were always happening, there was no apparently normal part for quite some time, really. We eventually developed a couple of them, but that was, like, long after we literally had multiple trauma holders who all held different kinds of trauma. Yep, that is my experience. Like, my early personal experience was, going to school, and then going to school, and then going to school. Like, all I knew was going to school. I went to Bible college for a year, and then I went to university for 4 years, and then I went to animation college for 2 years, and I don't remember much. Like I knew roughly the name of like my address. I knew that I had to get on a bus to go home. Yeah, I don't actually have any like memories of like going home or where I really lived. Other than I knew where I lived, but I didn't actually like think too hard on that because I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, we're going to this class next. And you're like, Esme, is that like Twilight? No, it's me, only a name. And don't ask me why she picked that. She just picked that. Mm-hmm. School and work. Like, eventually I became the person who also, went to work. The boy, he just go to work. He talk pleasantly to the ladies. Oh, apparently before I did that, that's actually something JDI did. That's really interesting to know. I was like, I wasn't the first person to do that. JDI apparently also did retail work. Imagine playing this game and trying valiantly to find like health, and you can't find any because it just goddamn doesn't exist. In my case, no, but in Nyx's case, yes. Which is, super funny. Like, I'm gay, but Nyx is, well, also gay. Which is why when people were like, what's your sexuality? It's like, bi. Yeah, bi. That works. That works. Bi. We're bi. Technically more bi than most. But, we do have some asexual folks in here, too. All of us are aromantic. But, as far as I can know. But, yeah, the attraction is weird in the entire system. Because I don't like girls at all. But Nyx does. So we're just ultra gay? Well, apparently Nyx had a crush on a boy, but as a note, he cross-dressed. So, I mean... She's like, also, how many guys have I dated, quote-unquote, who turned out to be trans girls? And that's actually super valid. Have we actually dated anyone who didn't come out of the closet later as trans? One person who, in theory... But he was the cross-dresser, so question mark. We did lose track of him, so there's always a possibility... Oh, my lights just flickered. Yeah, with a full spectrum, it's the reason why, like, at least on Twitter, I'd say back in what's the name of the year? Like, Twitter back in, like, 2020, there was this massive movement among, like, I'd say, like, young Gen Zs / yeah, mostly just young Gen Zs, which was like this anti-queer movement, and like not anti-LGBTQ movement, but like actual supposedly well-meaning dumbasses who would like come out of the woodwork to say, queer is a slur and you shouldn't use it. It shouldn't be part of LGBT relationships. Like, we need to get rid of the Q. And I'm like, honey, no. Because some of us are genderqueer, and some of us are queer on a sexuality spectrum, and it's important that the Q remains. It needs to. As a note, when I was, like, I didn't actually get called queer when I was in high school. We got called, like, a lesbian, we got called gay, we did, like, we, and I'm not gonna tell someone that just because, like, I had those words used against me, that those are slurs, because they're not. They were used as slurs, but that doesn't mean that they are. They have a function in society. They deserve to exist, even if they personally really upset me. I'm not gonna sit here and tell someone that they're not allowed to have an identity because you find a word uncomfortable. Like, queer, for example, has been reclaimed a long fucking time ago. And it has a very unique purpose. It's for folks who have sexualities or gender identities that don't fit into the first four categories. To be fair, queer actually covered concepts like asexual and aromantic back in the day. By back in the day, I mean like in the 90s and like in the 80s and 90s, the concept of people who didn't want to ever have sex, or people who they wanted to be in a relationship, but like not a sexual relationship. That was a thing. That was considered to be queer. Now, as a note, they have their own title now. Totally valid. Definitely use it. But back in the day, there wasn't really a word for that. So they just... it was just considered to be queer. Hey! Whoop! Hello! Sir? I'm gonna need you to put that shotgun down. And give me your gold. That is a lot of frogs. I'm on 31 health. I can't fuck around over there. I really was hoping I could find some more health, but it's not working out for me. I think I'm just gonna head on down and get the fuck out of here. If I can. That's not good. That's not good at all. That is many rats. True, true. Though it at the time it was deeply confusing because, like, think about it this way: you're supposed to have supposedly, a sexuality that other people understand because, you know, for some reason that seems to be like a big deal for people. They really want you to have a sexuality that they understand. It's now. I want an iPhone 16, not an iPhone 14. With me in 2005. Oh my god, a Barbie phone. Me in 2004. I don't understand why people would want to have a phone. They're so expensive. Also, cell phones are for yuppies. What the hell? Why would I want that? What if I did this? If I could find light, this would be really cool. I mean, they're gonna have increased cast delay anyways. Forgot, I put accelerate on it so that it would actually, like, not drop due to freaking gravity. So I actually have to aim at things again. Nice lag. Really? Fuck off! Dolby, McDonald's, I'm the best restaurant. Grab, he's overreaching. DoorDash, yeah, Burger King, Taco Bell. Can't read for shit? I can't read for shit. Don't worry about it. Yeah, we got our first phone. Let me think. Like, what did I kill that was new? I must have picked up a new spell. Oh, maybe not. Oh, have I never taken concentrated spells before? I guess not. I've always had just a better choice. Oh shit. No, 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 why? Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! Oh my god, let me out. Oh, why? Keep it game. Hold it, pronouns please. If you see the jacket, he, him. If you see booba, she, her. They, them can also work in a pinch. But as a note, like, if you fuck it up because you hear a girl's voice, then that's totally okay. I'm not gonna get super salty at you. So, in this case, because I'm wearing a jacket, he, him. I need the bomba. What flavor of potion? Bomba. Why your OC looking like it's from Steven Universe?
Welcome to the cafes, where it's always morning in America, even in the afternoon.
Don't bang? I wouldn't. Whoops, why? Yeah. I assume you mean Steven Universe? Really? Does it? I've only seen a little Steven Universe. To be fair, it's just a... There are certain shows I can't watch because my brain goes, nope, trauma! And I'm like, why? I don't... How trauma? And it's like, no, trauma and no details as to why. And I'm like, what? Okay, but why? So, yeah, it's a show that I can't watch, but it's not because the show's bad or that I don't like it. It's literally because my brain just screams trauma whenever I've tried to watch it, and I don't know why. Something in the first episode just absolutely makes my brain go, no. And it sucks when that happens, because, like, sometimes I really want to watch a thing, because I know that it's important. You've got another PFP. Oh, that looks cool. Are those your OCs that you've been, like, putting in those? It seems like it. As I recall, your first PFP was, a Murder Drones character or something? Oh, son of a bitch! Frick off! You idiots always kill me! Hate it! There's a wand up there. I want to go up there. Let me go. Oh. Thank you. You're doing the boom bay yay with your body pillow. Honey. Don't tell people when you're doing the boom bay yay with your body pillow. I might start thinking that you're some kind of pervert. And you might be, but do you want them to know? Also, the fact that your name is Bubbles Derpy, okay, Bubbles Derpy. Give me a hot second here. I just realized what your name is. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 ba da da. As a note, I don't use this site anymore because they went and took all of our art and threw it into assorted AI bullshit. So I don't use this anymore, but if we look very carefully at the fan art. Wah 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 wah. Wah 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 wah. Da da da. There it is. There it is. My voice sounds like a commander. I like that. I like that. There you go. But back in the day, back when I needed to make some cash, bronies existed. And they saved my ass by being awesome and commissioning me constantly. So, all hail the bronies. I was gonna say, is that a big old barrel of whiskey? It totally heckin' is. You like it and now you leave again? Okay, you have fun. How's the VTuber life treating me? You know, don't have to do my makeup. Not that I ever fucking did. Oh, that's not true. Well, I mean, I never did. Ed did. Oh my god, there's so many funny pictures. Ed would occasionally do us because Ed goth was a thing back in the day. So Ed would sometimes get us all gothed up, and take like a zillion selfies of himself making funny faces, and oh my god, they're so funny. And like from time to time, I just run into them on our in our old photos. They're so funny. We need to put a game on your thingy thing. A game on my thingy thing? What does that mean? You're on Twitch. Did we not put Noita? Did I not put Noita? I might not have, because that might be a thing. I'd have forgotten to actually put in there. What's there? Dispatch? I mean, okay. On on Steam? I only sort of know what that's about. Like, aren't you playing like some sort of character like sends superheroes out to to fight crimes and stuff? Like you're kind of like the organizer for that? That's all I roughly know about it. I'm not saying no. I don't know anything about it. So, it sounds interesting. My god, we got so many achievements for Nine Kings playing the other day. Oh, apparently there's the Steam Awards. 1 second while I vote for Silksong in every category. Because, you know, fuck you. Bum 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 bum. I need to play Clover Pit. Well, I need to get Clover Pit, but I want to play Clover Pit. Better with Friends or Repo? Outstanding Visual Style Award? Most Innovative Gameplay Award, Blueprints. How long did we play Blueprints? Best Game You Suck At Award? Best Soundtrack Award? Oh, looks like there's a new Necrodancer. That. Outstanding Story Rich Game Award. I've actually heard that Dying Light has a really good story. Sit Back and Relax Award. Oh, Parappa the Rappa? Oh, you're talking about when I was saying the there's a new Necrodancer. Necrodancer's really fun. I don't think like Necrodancer's different. It's its own thing. It's basically just Guitar Hero. Oh, that's a shame. I like the original because it was sort of really innovative of like learning how to like move around the like learning how to move around where you're like tied into the music. I was like, "Oh, cool. They've updated the game, but like I assumed that they'd keep it as a you can only move when you're if you're moving on the beat sort of thing." So cool. I just want to address the elephant in the room. Why am I old? Why am I fat? Why am I old? Why am I fat? Why am I old? Why am I fat? I don't know, chat. Why am I old and fat? Old, fat, useless. Also lagging. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm just pondering if I want this wand or not, and I don't think I do. It's got some stuff to it, but not better than what I've got. Damn, there's a lot of wands. We're gonna have to look at all of them. Oh, another wand, damn. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Is me or the chat lively today? It's lively and I like it. Whoop, whoop. Anyway, I assume you mean burritos or tacos? I like burritos. But, as a note, in Canada, or at least in Ontario, which is like the part of Canada I'm from, good Mexican food doesn't exist. It doesn't, and that sucks. For some reason, it just doesn't exist. And, like, when you're, like, trying to, like, I've tried to explain this to Americans, because, like, Mexican food is, like, so, hey, no chewing on me. Mexican food is, like, so, like, universal in the US. There's just so much of it that you'd think that Canada would also have some. But No. For some reason, no, we don't. We just don't. And it's really sad. And it, you know, it would be nice if it wasn't like that. I would actually really like to experience good Mexican food. But, you know. Yeah, the Taco Bell is worse the further north you go, too. Like, it's actually, like, so gross. And, like, I mean, there are some, like, Tex-Mex places where, like, they're, like, a restaurant where they're... But it's not like it's, like, people are like, oh, yeah, no, you just go to the taco truck. And I'm like, the fuck taco truck? Like, I don't got... Why do you... you have access to a taco truck? I do not have access to a taco truck.